Welcome to That One Time with Adam Metwally, the podcast bridging the gap between health, hustle, and happiness. We are with Jasky today, and we're going to get to know him over the next 10 minutes ahead of the full episode later this week. Hi, Jasky.
Hi, Adam. Thanks for having us.
Of course, my man. So who are you? What are you best known for? And for somebody who is listening right now, why should they care?
Who am I? My name is Jasky, probably better known as Mr Sikkant on all the usual channels, and known for being, I guess, one of the most popular street interviewers in Australia. Our channel has grown over the last 3 years to hitting 250 million views now across the, all the platforms. And that's, again, a rough estimate. And why should someone listen? I don't know. If they want to be entertained by an idiot, they should listen, I guess.
Anyone listening to this is entertained by an idiot every week. So I think you're in good company.
Two idiots. So double the bonus. Buy one, get one free.
100%. So F, marry, kill. You know this game?
I do.
F, marry, kill, overly woke protesters, drunk bogans, conspiracy nuts.
Oh, that's a tough one. Let's start with kill. Killing has to be the woke people. That's a dead obvious. If anyone doesn't answer killing to woke people, then you're probably woke yourself.
Oh, God. We'll get into that later.
Yeah. Adam's like, delete podcast, finish. Marry, probably conspiracy. I can probably handle a bit of conspiracy. I get into that once in a while. And fuck, whatever that last one was.
Fuck a bogan.
Out of the line, it's
all right. Love it. So let's play a game. Best, worst, and weirdest. So best, worst, and weirdest person you've ever interviewed on the street. Let's go with the best.
Probably the one that's been the best is also the one that was probably the sketchiest. We did one in for a video which was for a gang called the Australian KGB, and we ended up running into this lady who we took off the front end. But anyway, the whole story doesn't matter. So she was obviously under the influence, potentially with just having a biff with someone. Then she guided us to one of the original gang members of this KGB, and then took us straight to a trap house. And that whole journey of her explaining the story, ending up at a place that we really shouldn't be at, especially filming at a place. The reason I say it's the best, it required the most amount of skills and in the moment present awareness to be able to tackle. It's not being the hardest situation, but one of the hardest and the first that comes to mind. And that's why I think it's one of the best, because to navigate a situation like that, disarm someone, and then be in a situation where you shouldn't be, and then still kind of navigate between myself and two cameramen, and get out of there while producing something that's showcasing that side of the world, is the first one that comes to mind.
What does your wife think of this? She doesn't know the details.
No, she does. She knows. She's just used to it, man. She's used to me being like this for a minute. And also, I think, she does sometimes go, man, you guys really got to be careful. And it's not like we're trying to get ourselves into those situations. It just seems like those situations appear. And when the magic comes, when the muse is striking, you kind of got to just let it be. That's what most of it is.
Fair enough. Worst.
Worst. I've had too many worse. Worst is
first one that comes to mind.
Not willing to engage. It's just they're all really boring.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
And the weirdest.
Weirdest is potentially my whole channel. So you could just scroll down and pick one. No, but I guess the weirdest that comes to mind. To be honest, the weirdest is not as a dig to him, but the weirdest in terms of the conversation was this Serbian bloke called Slav, who was a beat maker that I ran into, and he was just talking the most random shit I've ever heard. And I think he knew how to make it interesting. He just came in and he was like, you got to drink coffee, because coffee it's all trap banger. I want to make coffee that makes you want to get into a mosh, and then just went on this weird tirade, which was hilarious as hell. And I ran into him twice at the same place at the same time on different weeks. So that makes it even weirder. But he's so hilarious, but the stuff he patches together is outrageous.
Yeah, I know the type. They just think differently, don't they? Very differently. So what's your surefire trick to get any stranger talking?
Very good question. I don't have a surefire trick, but I think the thing that I focus on more, which has now become habitual and intuitive, which I think if someone listening to this and they go, how can I borrow some of that learning and kind of do it myself, is that the nonverbal cues are, and this has been said to death, but the nonverbal cues are everything. The words you say, the things you ask for, even in this sort of scenario, it's a little bit different because we're virtual, but it doesn't really matter about the words, really. They do matter, but it's after all the rest. And so the surefire way to disarm, develop quick rapport, like my goal is to develop rapport in under 10 seconds because otherwise it's gone, right? So it's like a video. You've got 3 seconds to scroll away. This person's got less than 10 seconds to walk away. So I think it all comes down to nonverbal cues, and there's layers to that. Like we can go into that for hours, but yeah, it is all about how they perceive you very quickly, and that's all indicated by how you come across in your in the communication that isn't actually verbal.
Okay. Have you ever used your crowd work skills for a serious business meeting?
Yeah, and all the time now, because sense of humor just is the greatest disarmer. If we're going into now the words layer, the number one thing is comedy, is jokes. And of course you got to tailor them based on the circumstance. But if you can use sense of humor and develop sense of humor to your advantage, there's really nothing more powerful in terms of words.
Yeah, I used to do some festival work and we'd always have to get the counsellors on side, and you'd go into this board meeting with 20 people. And if you come in really fun and not so serious, everyone lightens up and they seem to be very supportive. But if you come in very serious and like confrontational with a big slide deck, you get hit in the head with all these different requirements. It was fascinating to watch.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's all a game. And I think, these little skills that you can use in this game, which is now the most valuable game really, because communication is less often, people are speaking less often, people are not doing this that much. And as we move forward with AI and all these things, what skill is really going to be leveraged the most? I can't think of anything more valuable than being able to in-person communicate. Now, we might have that integrated with some sort of technology that does make it easier for people, but I still think that's fucking probably ages away. It's everything. And if you can spend time learning it, it's like that umbrella skill that feeds into everything in your life.
Yeah, most definitely. So complete this sentence. The perfect amount of jackass is?
Me.
All right. I like that. We'll leave it at that. What book would make you happy to give to 100 people in your life?
There's probably a couple, but I think the one that I would give to the general person is probably, it's going to sound lame, but it probably leads you into the path that most people need to go to, is something like The Power of Now, which is like a kind of a book on a Q&A of how to be a little bit more present in the world. Mm-hmm. So that book in itself, commercialized, a little bit cringy and whatever, but I think that is valuable for the general person and for myself.
Yeah, it's a great book. I agree. I've read it. I should reread it. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's a banger. But then there's more other books that I'll probably enjoy more, but they're not for the everyday person.
Yeah, understood. What's one daily practice you swear by, even if people think it's crazy?
Planning my next day. Because if you're not planning your next day and you're actually not having kind of at least a structure where you want, a ladder pointing to a wall you want to climb, you're going to be fucking trying to climb every wall. So I think it's the most basic thing, but just pre-planning the day before you get into the computer and shit is the most important. And then, vocal exercises and other things that are required for every single day.
What does that actually look like digging into this? Because I've been doing quite a lot of this as well. I'm curious to hear how you approach it.
What I'm currently doing is doing like more of a 3 month to 6 month. What are the things I'm working on? It used to be goals, but I feel like goals are so never linear. They're always moving around. So less having goals, more about where things I want to focus on. So for example, I want to get better and better at this skill of disarming people, right? So that's a 3 to 6 month goal. And in 6 months, I can put something more a quantifiable. Like, what does that mean? That means I should be able to go into like West Sydney in a criminal suburb and be able to disarm someone who's threatening. Not that I'm going to do that. Let's just say that's what it is. I'm just hypothesizing something here. Then go back to, all right, what do I need to do in progress every single day to get to that? So if that's one of the things I want to work on, then what I'll do is, okay, tomorrow, probably what I need to do is I need to go back and listen to the audio of what I did on my street interviews at the last thing. And then I have a kind of a system or a criteria or like a conveyor belt they need to go through, and they just have to make sure that, okay, I didn't do that. I didn't do this. I wanted to do this. And this is my system of how I get better at these things. And okay, let's evaluate, listen back to the game tape. What could I have done better? Write some notes. And that means, okay, that's my progress for the day. And then if I've done that for 2-3 days and that's not going to be putting me in the right direction, then what can I do moving forward? But all the way leading to that 6 months of where I wanted to try and go. And then obviously at 6 months, evaluate, did you get there or not?
Yeah, nice. I like it. So what's a purchase you've made that has improved your life 100 times more than it cost?
My coffee machine.
Oh.
Because I love making coffee. So it was probably an overly expensive purchase.
Which one did you get?
It's called an ECM Synchronica, but I got one of the limited edition ones where they only made like, I can't remember the number, 500 in the world or something.
It's chrome, pink chrome.
No, not pink. No, I'm not LGBT. It's like a, what is it? I can't even. I would say like kind of a matte green finish, but it looks like, anyway, whatever. It looks cool. So I did overspend, but it's like a daily like improvement in life.
Makes you happy.
I get up and I'm like, oh man, at least I can make a coffee on this amazing machine, which now I've had for many years, but every day brings me like happiness, which is crazy.
I love that.
Those permanent purchases are awesome.
I love that. Who is the most famous person's contact you have and how did you get it?
The first one that comes to mind is probably Ben Cousins.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to tee up a collab with him.
He's so good. Just hit him on a night out at Revolver.
Yeah, I can't wait. It'll be like the best thing ever. How did I get it? I did a podcast with a guy who, Ben Cousins, in his, like, I guess the days when he was trying to run away from certain things, used to stay at this guy's apartment. And then he was like, man, you guys got to collab. So he gave me his number. And then, I've chatted to him several times since. So first one that comes to mind.
I like it. What is the strangest compliment you've ever received?
Yeah, I think it's the line that you quoted, the perfect amount of jackass. Because it summarizes it perfectly. I loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
And my last question for you is, what is one of the craziest stories you've been a part of that makes you still go, wait, that happened?
This whole channel, man, doing this thing, which has just been a hobby, doing it for fun, still doing it for fun because we're still doing what isn't in line with what, brands would typically want from a channel, and hence we lose a lot of monetization opportunities. But to then, we sat back a couple of weeks ago and we're like, dude, we did that. We ended up, going out to Geraldton, walking into a police station, and then interviewing someone who was getting people to report for bail. And we ended up meeting some guy who took us out for a drive through the roughest neighborhood, and then introduced us to an OG who graffitied an entire deli, which was called Dead Man's Deli. Like things that just would never take place. And just over the years, if we go back and look at all the interesting stories and the crazy journeys that's allowed us to go on, it's amazing. It's so much fun. It's the fact that you can do it, you can make money from doing it. You can also come together with two really good mates and brainstorm the stupidest shit and actually execute it, and people enjoy watching it is awesome, man. It's awesome. And I'm grateful for it all the time.
I love it. Well, I've been watching your content for a while now, and this is the second time we're together. So we're going to keep doing this every year, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. If I don't shut it down by next year, let's keep going.
Well, hopefully not. All right, Jasky, I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you.
Cool.